What is edge? Some would argue that it's the act of trying too hard to be cool, to the point of cringe. And they're right 99% of the time. However, a select few characters can overcome the cringe, and this is the story of one such character. If I showed you some pictures of Kurtis Trent, you would probably describe him as someone's edgy OC that somehow made its way into a video game. And to be fair, he does seem like that at first glance. You see, Kurtis is the epitome of a cool guy. He rides a black motorcycle. He barely takes any puffs of his cigarette before cinematically flicking it into the canal. He has a soul patch. He gets all of his clothes from Hot Topic. This alone already puts him pretty high on the edge scale, but there's more. You see, Kurtis has a dark and mysterious past. Not only is he part of an ancient secret society, but also he has poorly defined magical powers. Oh yeah, and he's trying to avenge the death of his father.
So Eckhart went after your father, and you want revenge.
Justice.
As a character, Kurtis might be pretty edgy, but on top of that, many of the actions he takes throughout the game increase his overall edge rating. He starts out by stalking Lara from the shadows. Kinda weird, but whatever. Then, he mugs her at gunpoint in one of the strangest cutscenes in Tomb Raider history. He also uses this opportunity to show off his really cool mind-controlled blade. Edgy. Then, later on, he traps Lara in a small room just because she's interfering with his super amazing secret plan. However, his final, most important action is in his fight with Boaz. Kurtis decides to fight the monster, allowing Lara to keep going forward and defeat Eckhart. He manages to kill Boaz, but not before being mortally wounded himself. This could all just be for an edgy, heroic death. Actually, it definitely is, but I choose to see it as his overconfidence in his power harming him in the end. One could even argue that Kurtis has something of a character arc here, where for the first time in his life, he comes to rely on another person. His own strength and his magical powers aren't enough. And this is what I want to point out. Kurtis might look and act in an incredibly edgy manner, but the game shows that he's not the perfect cool guy. He's not invincible. Even though he doesn't want to, he requests the help of Lara because he realizes that he can't take down Eckhart alone. And then, because of his powers, he underestimates his enemy and gets himself killed. At the end of the day, Kurtis isn't just an edgy Gary Stu. He's a character with his own flaws and limitations. Now, some people might point out that it's implied at the end that Kurtis is still alive. And this is true. Apparently, there's even supposed to be a spin-off series of games featuring Kurtis as the main character, but because of the Angel of Darkness' massive failure, they were all cancelled. However, I don't think that this completely undermines his character growth. I mean, in the end, this just means that the developers planned on developing his character further anyway. Now you might ask, how is this important? Does anyone even care about Kurtis Trent anyway? And that's fair. Most people have never heard about him, and many of those that have disagree with his inclusion in the Angel of Darkness. However, there are Kurtis Trent fans out there. The most prominent group I've found seems to be the Kurtis Trent Estrogen Brigade. Aside from having an amazing name, they seem to have been active for a lot of years. In fact, things seem to have only started slowing down about 9 months ago. Considering that the Angel of Darkness came out all the way back in 2003, that's actually kinda crazy. Then there are also all of the Kurtis Trent cosplayers out there. Trust me, if you search up Kurtis Trent cosplay, you're gonna get a lot of results. And finally, there's me, I guess. After all, I'm the one who made a video just to talk about Kurtis for a few minutes. So, I guess that Kurtis Trent isn't entirely forgotten. All I hope is that he's remembered as more than just some edgelord in a bad game.
お前はもう死んでいる。